Okay, so zinc, right. It's one of those things most of us probably don't think about it much
Right.
unless, maybe there's a cold going around and suddenly we're all about those zinc lozenges.
Right.
But trust me on this, zinc is way more interesting than just cold remedies. We're talking ancient history, we're talking fascinating chemistry, we're talking essential for life itself.
Absolutely.
Get ready to have your mind blown because today we're going deep, deep, deep into the world of zinc. We're going to uncover some seriously surprising facts and the connections, you won't believe it. Our sources for this deep dive, Wikipedia and this super cool article about how zinc is used in architecture. Seriously, you wouldn't think buildings in zinc, but it's a whole
The
thing.
fascinating connection, yeah.
So let's get right to it. Now, I'm guessing most people, they hear zinc, they think, okay, metal, right? But it turns out humans were using zinc alloys way before they even knew what zinc was on its own.
It's wild, isn't it? We're talking about working with this element in a way without even really knowing it. Kind of like, imagine knowing someone your whole life and then bam, you find out they have this secret twin you never knew about.
Okay, hold on. A secret twin. So what were people actually working with back then? Give us some examples.
Well, how about brass?
Uh,
That gorgeous golden metal, it's everywhere, or it has been for centuries. Ancient artifacts, modern designs, you name it. Brass is actually a mixture of zinc and copper. And get this, we've got evidence of people using brass for thousands of years. I mean, picture the Romans, right? 30 BC, they're going about their day using brass for all sorts of things, totally clueless that they're dealing with this hidden element.
See, that's what gets me. To be that close to something, to work with it so closely and have no idea what it really is.
It really makes you appreciate how far we've come in understanding materials, right? And here's the real kicker. There are objects out there, we're talking 2,500 years old, with a zinc content of 80 to 90%. These ancient artisans, they were way ahead of their time. They were basically doing metallurgy magic without even realizing it.
Okay, now that is just mind-blowing, like finding a missing piece of history, except this piece rewrites the whole story.
Right. It makes you wonder, how did they manage to work with zinc in such a pure form back then? We're still trying to figure that out, but each new discovery just adds another layer to the mystery.
It's incredible. Okay, so zinc has this long, mysterious past, but where did the name zinc even come from? It's not exactly a catchy, gold or silver kind of name.
Yeah, you're right about that. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? The exact origin is still debated, but it's probably from some old German words. Think tooth-like or tin-like. Not exactly glamorous.
Tooth-like. Now that's an image I was not expecting.
Well, if you've ever seen pure zinc crystals, they can be kind of jagged, almost tooth-shaped. But get this, there's this Indian medical text from the 14th century. It's called the Rasaratna Samakaya, and it actually identifies zinc as a distinct metal, centuries before the West caught on.
Wow, so India was way ahead of the game when it came to zinc. What finally brought this knowledge to the Western world?
Okay, picture this. It's the 16th century, and we've got this German metallurgist, Andreas Lebedius, right? And one day, he gets this sample delivered. It's labeled clay. And this was no ordinary package.
Okay, I'm sensing some drama here.
This clay had been seized from a captured Portuguese ship, a ship that was sailing all the way from the Malabar coast of India. Talk about international intrigue.
Wow, what a way for a metal to make an entrance. So was this mysterious clay actually zinc?
Lebedius, he was meticulous, documented everything about it. And while it's hard to say for absolute certain, all signs point to, yes, this was most likely our friend zinc making its debut on the Western stage.
A turning point in history. And it all started with a captured ship and a very curious metallurgist. But it wasn't until another German chemist, this time Andreas Marggraf, came along in 1746, that zinc was finally isolated in its pure form, and that's when things really took off.
Exactly. Once they had pure zinc to work with, the possibilities just exploded. From those humble beginnings to a recognized element with seemingly endless potential, zinc has truly had an incredible journey.
It's really amazing when you think about it, how long zinc has been a part of human history, even if we didn't always know what we were looking at. But where does zinc come from today? It's not like we just stumble across it lying around, right?
Not quite, no. These days, most zinc starts its journey as sulfide ores. We're talking deep underground, buried in the earth. And while zinc's story might go back centuries the way we get it now, that's all about modern industry. In fact, China is actually a leading zinc producer globally.
China, wow. So from ancient India to modern-day China, zinc's story truly spans the globe. Okay, so we've got these zinc ores underground. How do we actually get the zinc out?
That's the really cool part. Extracting zinc. It's a fascinating process. Imagine a blend of ancient techniques and cutting-edge technology. There are two main ways we do it: pyrometallurgy and electrowinning.
Those are some pretty impressive words. I think I need a quick translation for those of us who don't speak science.
Uh-huh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Picture pyrometallurgy as like a really intense fire-based process. Essentially, you use heat, and a lot of it, to separate the zinc from the ore. Think giant furnaces, zinc literally boiling away and then being collected. It's an old technique, but we've gotten really good at it over the centuries.
It does sound kind of ancient, like something out of an old movie with a blacksmith and a hot forge. What about electrowinning? Does that involve, like, harnessing lightning bolts or something?
Not quite lightning bolts, but you're on the right track with electricity. With electrowinning, we basically use a really controlled electrical current to pull the zinc out from a special solution. Think of it as a more modern, precise way of extracting the zinc. It's often considered a bit gentler on the environment than the old fire methods.
So it's a trade-off, right? Ancient fire versus modern electricity, each with its own pros and cons. But something tells me it's not quite that simple. There's got to be a catch somewhere, right?
You're right to be skeptical. See, while we've become experts at getting zinc out of the ground, both of those methods, pyrometallurgy, electrowinning, they come with their own set of environmental challenges.
There's
Pyrometallurgy, that whole intense heat thing, it can release something called sulfur dioxide. Bad news for air quality, not great for the environment. And then there's electrowinning. While it's often cleaner, we still have to deal with a byproduct called cadmium. It's a toxic heavy metal that often hangs out with zinc in the ore.
It's like a never-ending balancing act, isn't it? We need these resources, but then there's always an impact.
Exactly. That's why responsible mining, that's the key. It's about minimizing those emissions, handling those byproducts like cadmium with extreme care, and always looking for even more sustainable ways to do things. It's the only way to make sure we can benefit from zinc without, messing up the planet in the process.
A delicate dance between progress and responsibility. It's all
Yeah.
connected. Okay, so we've talked about the history, we've talked about how we get zinc. Now let's get into what makes zinc so amazing. Because it's not just about ancient tools and industrial processes, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Zinc is way more than just, a historical footnote.
It's got to be more than just cold remedies and pennies.
You got it.
Yeah.
Though you're right, since 1982, those shiny copper pennies we use, they've actually had a little secret. A zinc core with a thin copper coating. Clever way to save some money without changing how our money looks.
Talk about hidden depths. And speaking of hidden heroes, we got to talk about galvanization.
Ah, yes, galvanization. It's like zinc's superpower.
It is. This is zinc protecting iron and steel from rust, right?
Rightly. Think of it like a suit of armor, a zinc coating that shields those metals from corrosion.
That is wild. Bridges, guardrails, even something as basic as gutters on our houses, they all rely on this zinc protection.
It's everywhere once you start noticing it. And don't forget alloys. We already talked about brass, but zinc's ability to team up with other metals, it's like the ultimate team player.
Yeah.
That's how we get nickel silver, super shiny, used in jewelry, musical instruments. Then there's bronze, famous for its strength, how long it lasts. Even solder, essential for all our electronics, plumbing. Zinc is in there too.
Zinc, the silent partner in so many things we rely on. And here's one I bet most people don't know. Zinc oxide is actually in sunscreen.
True story. It's a really effective UV blocker, so it helps prevent those nasty sunburns.
So zinc isn't just protecting buildings and bridges, it's protecting our skin too. Now that's what I call versatile.
And we're just getting started. Zinc's got a whole other side, a vital role inside our bodies. It's an essential trace element, crucial for all sorts of biological functions.
Okay, time for a quick biology lesson. What exactly does zinc do inside us?
Well, to put it simply, it's like the behind-the-scenes crew making sure everything runs smoothly. Did you know that zinc is involved in over 300 enzymes and 1,000 transcription factors?
Okay, you lost me at 300. What does that even mean for those of us who don't speak science?
Basically, it means zinc is essential for how our cells function. Everything from fighting off infections, repairing damaged tissues, even our senses of taste and smell, zinc's involved.
Wow. Zinc really is like this army of microscopic helpers working tirelessly to keep us healthy. So we got to make sure we're getting enough zinc in our diets, right?
You're absolutely right. Getting enough zinc is important. But like with most things in life, it's all about balance. Just like with those pennies, too much of a good thing can backfire.
Too much of a good thing. Okay, now you've got me curious. So too much zinc, it can actually be a bad thing. What happens?
Well, it's all about balance, right? Our bodies, they're pretty amazing, but when it comes to these essential minerals, we need them in the right amounts. And what's interesting about zinc is that if we get too much of it, it can actually mess with how our bodies absorb other important minerals, like copper, for example, and iron.
So it's like too much zinc throws everything off, a mineral traffic jam.
That's a great way to put it. And if that balance tips too far, well, it can lead to some health problems.
It's amazing, isn't it? We need zinc, it's essential, but we need it in just the right amount.
Exactly. And it really highlights why it's so important to think about where our nutrients are coming from. Which, speaking of, remember those zinc pennies we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah, those things with the zinc core.
Well, get this. Swallowing too many pennies, it can actually be dangerous because of the zinc content.
Wait, seriously, those little coins? They're toxic.
It's true. It's not common, but it does happen, especially with kids. Ingesting a bunch of pennies, it can lead to zinc toxicity. It's all about the concentration, right? Too much zinc all at once, the body can't handle it.
You know, I never would have thought about that, but it makes sense. Guess I'll be keeping a closer eye on any loose change from now on.
It's a good reminder that even with things we think of as, good for us, there are always limits. Getting our nutrients from healthy foods, that's always the best way to go.
This whole deep dive has been eye-opening. Ancient history, modern science. Who knew zinc had so many stories to tell? It's amazing to think it's everywhere, and most of the time, we don't even realize it.
It's true. It just goes to show you never know what you're going to find when you start digging deeper. The world's a pretty fascinating place, even at the, elemental level.
It really is. So for our listeners out there, what's the one thing you hope they take away from this deep dive into zinc?
Honestly, just look around. Look at things a little differently.
Yeah.
Every galvanized structure, every piece of brass, that sunscreen you put on this morning, it all tells a story about zinc. It's about recognizing the impact, the influence it has, even when we don't see it.
I love that. Finding a new appreciation for the everyday, right?
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, with that deeper understanding, we can all start thinking about how we use zinc responsibly, sustainably, so it's around for generations to come.
Now that is a thought-provoking question. Well, on that note, thanks to everyone for joining us on this deep dive into the world of zinc. We hope you learned something new today.